Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is Game God Fluent, bringing you episode 37 and a return to the LP for Spellforce 3 Reforced. I want to say a few things before we get started here. This is a return. I have scheduled in 3 days of playing as much Spellforce 3 Reforced as I'd like to update the LP a bit, make more progress towards ultimately finishing it. And that's what we're doing here, so hope you guys decide to tag along. But a few things, like it took a lot to get this game to run on my laptop and record in a decent enough quality fashion. Like I have to play in 720p, and at everything, basically all the graphical features turned down to very low and stuff like that. So I hope that's okay. It still looks, nice enough. We'll still have a lot of fun with it, so the main thing is that we're going to be playing again and just having fun with it, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Also, it'll take this episode and maybe another one even to kind of get back in the swing of things, like learning how to play again, because this is an incredibly deep, incredibly complex CRPG. Excuse me. I feel it's very underrated to begin with, but it's also, there's a lot to it. So, never mind 37, we're actually going to load 36. I recorded an episode and it was a slideshow.
For decades, the Mohir elves, exiled from Finan Mir, have roamed Io in search of a new home. In Nortander, they were promised lands of their own. But as the Mage Rebellion arose, they were quickly forgotten. Now, years later, they have taken shelter in a nomadic settlement in Leafshade, a dense, dangerous jungle, amidst the no-man's land between Utran and Wolfgar.
So those names sound familiar enough. Let's get into it. So here we are. Last episode, we did a quest on the coast, and we're going to go over everything here because it is quite some depth here. So, first of all, let's take a look at our main quest. Ultimately, what we have to do, the Song of the White, uncover the secret behind the blood burn. The Secret of the Shapers, discuss your next steps at the war table to advance in the main quest. And an optional quest, gaining allies. Gain additional allies, which right now is what we're trying to do ultimately. Then we have in Leafshade, where we're at right now, we have the Corruption, discuss your findings with the Scryers, and the Forsaken Coast, which we did last episode. I suggest you guys to watch that. We have to return to Sergeant Copper, who's right up here. And then we have other locations, the Windwall Way, find materials to upgrade Iskrim's armor. We'll check that out in a bit. Remnants of the Old, craft all the artifact items. There's 11 of them. The Elixir, find all ingredients. We're 1 fire nettle away from completing that. And Zarok's Fang, finding kill a bone gnar. We know where one exists, but might be a little too dangerous for us just yet. So, alright. So let's meet the crew. If you guys haven't seen the LP thus far, we're going to be going over what's in our inventory, what we're wearing, what abilities we have. So this might take like an episode or two just to do that. So here's our main dude, Matthew Tahar. That's me. You can check the stats over here, the health, the focus, damage type. The 4 damage types are strike, pierce, magical, and siege. You can see crit chance and block chance and stuff like that. So let's see what we're wearing. Helmet of the Pack, 10% to trigger a spell with every attack. Summon 1 Goblin Cutthroat for 18 seconds, max 3. This is an epic item, thus it's purple, meaning it's very good. Magical helmet filled with powerful nature magic. The magic that resides within this helmet gives the wearer a chance to summon a goblin thug to his aid. Strength in numbers is the motto of the goblins, and the wearer of this helmet will indeed never fight alone. For armor, we're wearing another epic piece, the Witch Hunter's light armor, which is immune to interruption, so my spells will never get, or skills will never get interrupted. Immune to silence, purge, and knockback. They say it takes one to hunt one, the armaments of those hunting men and beasts gifted by the supernatural, and a declared danger to someone who wants them dead. Very nice piece. We're using a shielding amulet, Every warrior in EO will inevitably encounter a magical threat at some stage. This trinket may just prove to be the difference between life and death when the time comes. 20 magical resistance, and it's rare. Guarding Battle Staff, it's a rare dexterity staff. After landing a critical hit, knocks back the enemy creature by 4 meters and stuns for 1 to 2 seconds, and it has an increased block chance. Mages avoid the thick of battle for good reasons. This staff grants the unreasonable at least a decent chance to survive the fray. We're wearing 1 ring, the Revitalizing Ring, plus 50 health. It's rare. The life of a soldier is often unforgiving. Those who are able to persevere through it will attest how important it is to stay in good health on this path. The Ring of Vitality aids the wearers in that pursuit by increasing their health, and our artifact is a rare Purging Talisman. Purges enemy creature of all active boons. Often used by arbiters overseeing honorable duels. There is no place for magic tricks in the gentleman's affaire d'honneur. So we'll just start with this, going over each character. So, next we have Isgrim, our dwarven fellow. My cigarette went out, bear with me, guys. For some reason we can't get him to wear a helmet, and everything red over here means it can't be worn, where the things that are lit up, like, they can be. So, well-made windwall armor, high protection with low attribute requirements. This armor is a reminder of the persistence that defines Isgrim. This exemplar was forged a few years after Isgrim completed his training. It's far from perfection, but many a warrior would gladly trade in their spouse for protection of this quality. And we can see Isgrim, he's got great constitution, strength, so on. His health is high, his damage, and so on. Resistances. Got an elemental necklace, which is epic. Elemental magic, ability cost, and cooldown down 20%. A token of fire and earth, water and wind, showing the wearer's devotion to Elin. He does actually have magic in the form of elemental. He's using an unerring warhammer, rare one. If the target is a golem, increase attack damage by 50% and increase crit chance. Warhammers are usually unwieldy and hard to use with precision. The magic infusion on this one, though, makes it much easier to land precise blows. We've got Kargoth's Shield, which is a rare. A sturdy shield based on the one used by Kargoth the Orc, a ruthless warlord known for terrorizing Forlorn's Hope. Kargoth never managed to grasp the difference between fear and respect. His horrific crimes certainly inspired a lot of fear and despair among the denizens of Forlorn's Hope. He's got a Revitalizing Ring and a Ring of Nullification, 10 magical resistance. The Ring of Nullification employs a truly fascinating type of magic in order to protect the wearer from magical attacks. And he's got an epic Weasel Talisman that triggers every 1 second. If the user is outside of combat, it applies Hastened to allied heroes around the user for 2 seconds. Hastened is plus 19% movement speed. The weight of the world lifts from your shoulders, your feet become light, your steps swift. Only a mount would allow you to travel faster. Very cool. Next we have Ayana, who's the new girl. Very dexterous and intelligent. She's dual-wielding daggers, but she's wearing the Kettle Hat of Focus. It's a rare plus 5 focus, which is, the focus is like MP or mana or energy in this game. Shaped like a brimmed hat, but made from solid steel, this helmet offers not only protection against missiles, but also against the elements. Reinforced studded leather armor, it's rare, increased resistances. The dozens of polished rivets on this one are not ornamental, carved with ancient runes. They provide additional protection from non-physical harm. Another shielding amulet, 20 magical resist. A pair of swift sacrificial daggers, which are actually intelligence-based daggers. So that's an interesting feature in this game that I really like. Different weapons scale with different types of attributes. This lands bleeding on critical hit and increased attack speed. The bleeding lasts for 5 seconds and it's 24 damage per second. So every crit adds not only the crit damage, but an extra 100 plus damage in bleeding. With sacrifices mostly fallen out of favor across Fiara, these blades are often repurposed for combat. This one is even enchanted for making mass sacrifices easier. And she's got a ring of nullification. We can give her... Well, we'll get into our inventory items next. And then Yuria, our sort of healer bowman, or bowwoman. Light assault helmet, it's epic. If health is above 90%, it applies empowered. And that's 25% extra attack damage and power multiplier for all abilities. After the design of this helmet was rejected for being too expensive for military use in Grimwarg, a resourceful merchant smuggled it to Windholm to be sold in the private sector. Glistening robe, light magic, and nature magic ability cooldowns minus 20%. Becoming one with nature is what white magic is really about. Wearing this robe allows the caster to do that. Metaphorically, of course, not visually. And she's using a robust composite bow. If the target is wildlife, increase attack damage by 25% and increased range. Sturdier than its pure wooden counterparts, this bow offers surpassing penetration power and range to those who are able to use it properly. She is, of course. A focus ring, plus 10 focus. Any skilled mage knows the value of composure when casting magical spells. Staying focused and in control of one's power is critical to the magical arts. The focus ring aids the wearer in that pursuit by increasing their focus. A revitalizing ring and an epic nullifying flask to enemy creatures in the area. Purge all active wounds and applies silence for 10 seconds. Thrown at a target, it purges everything caught within the blast radius. The force of it chokes even the strongest voice. Very cool. Okay. Next, let's go over our inventory. I'm going to go ahead and sort it. We've got Kargoth's Axe. I'm not going to read every description, I don't think, but this is a rare axe. Swift Cleaver. Critical hits apply weakened, which is minus 24 to all resistances. Kargoth's Axe does nothing special, actually. So, then we have a rare robust warhammer, increased range, which doesn't make any sense, but the golem thing again. Unerring spear, critical hits cause bleeding. Mighty great axe, if the target is draconic or draconoid, increased damage by 50% and increased damage in general. Unerring great mace, increased attack damage against golems and also critical hits. If the enemy is frozen, it kills them instantly and increased critical hit chance. Blood Spiller, a rare bow. Auto attack damage increased by 50% versus orcs. Robust crossbow, if the target is draconoid, increased damage by 25% and increased range. Winter's Wand, 83 magical damage, 5% to apply frozen for 5 seconds, and double damage against fire creatures. Frozen means they cannot be pushed away, cannot use abilities or attack, immune to knockback, immune to afflictions, minus 100% movement speed, but plus 50 all resistances but siege weapons. We've got a Rondel Dagger, and these are uncommon items, the green ones. Applies bleeding on crits. A Saber, deals strike and pierce damage. A Mace, golem attack damage increased by 50%. Great Mace, same thing, but also destroys frozen creatures instantly on critical hits. A Pike, if the target is big, increase attack damage by 100%, which is huge. Enchanted Wand, 83 damage against enemy targets. Then we've got Mentor's Heavy Shield, which if we look at Iskrim and what he can wear, we have a few of these 20% shields. The difference are the requirements and also generally the price. The Mentor Shield has reduced attribute requirements, but I would rather just sell it, really. Heavy Shield is also 20% block chance with the normal requirements of 6 strength 3 con. Mentor's Heavy Plate Armor, 2 of them. Reinforced Medium Plate. Mentor's Plate Mail with reduced attribute requirements but cannot be used by Dwarf. Mentor's Splint Armor. Rohan Tahir's Armor. Gore's Armor. Can only be used by Gore. This can only be used by Rohan. Iria's Armor can only be used by Iria. Plate Mail. full plate armor, chainmail, Iana's armor, and we'll look through each, character. He can wear the Windwall armor, but he's got the reinforced or the well-made Windwall armor. There's an inferior black robe, revitalizing plate helmet of focus, nasal helmet of focus. These are rares again. White hood of focus and a pot helmet, which is uncommon. We've got a ring of reanimation, 30% power multiplier for summon devourer. I don't think any of us have that, at least not in this party. And we picked up an arcane amulet last episode, way back. Auto attacks gain damage type magical. Only a select few have the ability to truly master offensive magic. The Amulet of Saturation lets the owner infuse their regular attacks with powerful magic. So I'm going to give that to, I think, myself, because I'm doing strike damage. I will lose the 20 magical resistance, but my auto attacks will gain. I actually do pretty good damage for a mage, not too bad. It's the highest damage in the party, I think. Yep. Base damage. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. I think, wait. My magic resistance is a 6. What is Iana's? A 9. She's dual wielding. Let's go ahead and give her double bang for the buck. So she's now minus 11 magical resist, but her attacks also do magical damage. Then we have some rare items. This is an artifact, a lavender perfume, a specialty of the caster perfumery in Everlight. Not sure what that's for, but these artifact items will come into play eventually. We've got 2 potions of empowerment artifacts. This potion was originally created to boost the physical attributes of the Iskander battle mages. It was later discovered that the concoction improves all the attributes of any warrior. All the attributes, and we have 2 of them. 2 potions of proficiency, also artifacts, which is the gold background. A magical concoction that opens up the mind of the user and makes them more aware of the abilities and potential that lie within. It is considered one of the greatest creations of the Northander Alchemy Court. We have an epic vortex flask. Pulls all targets towards the target position. Thrown at a target, it creates a vortex of power, drawing foes relentlessly to the epicenter. An epic nullifying flask. We saw this. Purges all boons, applies silence. Potion of Fresh Start, reset attributes and ability points. This potion was originally designed to erase the pain of loss among the widows of dead Northander soldiers. When it was realized that the effects of the elixir could be put to better use, that use was abandoned. Instead, the potion is now given to individuals who wish to redeem their combat abilities and retrain their attributes. Orb of Weakening, apply weakened, minus 89 to all resistances to enemy creatures in an area for 10 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and put that on her. Then we've got Scrolls of Resistance. Apply armor to all allied creatures around user for 15 seconds. Plus 35 all resistances. We have 5 of them. 12 Scrolls of Revitalization. Apply regenerating for creatures around user for 20 seconds. Heals 35 health per second. Notes of a Healer. Scribbled narrow letters imbued with magic. Reading it will revitalize the reader and everyone nearby. This one is a poem of a lowly knight, metaphors of honor in faded calligraphy, imbued with magic. Reading it will steal the body and the mind. 7 Scrolls of the Berserker. If the target does not have condition empowered, it applies empowered to all allied creatures around the user for 15 seconds. Empowered is plus 5% attack damage and power multiplier for all abilities, and another 53%, so that's pretty powerful. Violent Tales of Great Deeds on crumbling parchment, imbued with magic. Reading it will awaken the inner force and might of a whole group temporarily. We have 35 focus potions, restore 20 focus to user. A standard focus potion concocted by most alchemists on Fiara. The potion helps mages to regain their magical focus. Then we have an uncommon health potion, heals user by 450. A standard healing potion that is probably the most common tonic in this war-torn land. The potion revitalizes the user when ingested. Lavender scented letter. A love letter that gives off a powerful and pleasant scent. It reminds you of lavender. Not sure who that's for. King Aelith's Oath, Myth or Truth, an old history book dedicated to the life of one of EO's greatest leaders. This was something that applies to that statue we found in the last episode. We found a statue of King Aelith that if we take certain ingredients to, he will give us something in return. The mace, I think, which is hidden on the Uchon coast, offer 4 tokens from the 4 races, a symbol of their dedication to unity at the statue overlooking the sea. So that was down at this exit on the map that we just completed last episode, but I didn't get the mace yet. I don't have the tokens. Isgrim's armor schematics, a note provided by Isgrim listing the materials he needs to reinforce his armor. He told you to come by once you'd found the materials required by the schematics, so he's currently got the well-made windwall armor. We're working on reinforced windwall, and we need these 3 items: dwarven plate mail, reinforced adamantium, and reinforced dwarven shoulder pads. Poem of the Dusk, a long forgotten yet beautiful poem. Some different letters. I'm sorry. A letter written by what appears to be a soldier who fought in the Mage Wars. Why? The handwriting on the letter is shaky. Tiny stains are scattered all over the page. We Will Prevail, written by an Iskander loyalist. The Gospel of the Light, the Pillars of the Purity's Faith. A torn journal page. This page is torn and stained with blood and mud. There is one small part that you can read. The Shapers, a book summarizing the downfall of the Shaper Empire. And we're going to read some more of these books and also sell the ones we read, possibly. But we'll read some during various episodes. We'll read a book here or there. The Marvels of Eo, a book written by a scholar who set out to cross the Sea of Dreams. Finon Mir, The Minds Behind the Smiles, a book written by Joseph Mason, a famous Nortandian explorer and scholar. The Battle of Stone Bay, an historical book detailing the Battle of Stone Bay. The Mage Wars, a brief summary of the Mage Wars. Dissection of an Orcish Male. The booklet describes the dissection of an orc by a Nortandian apothecary. The Beauty of Everlight, a letter by a trader. The handwriting is clearly legible and flourished. Dwarven Traditions, a book written by Joseph Mason, a famous Nortandian explorer and scholar. The Story of Rock and Premora, an old Nortandian fairy tale about an orc falling in love with a human. The Purity of Light, an essay, a book on the purity of light written by one of Everlight's most renowned scholars. Curse the Crown, a letter by an Iskandian refugee. The Blood Burn, written by a scholarly apothecary. Diary of the Dead Mage, a tattered and hard-to-read diary covered in the blood and guts of its previous owner. Tale of the Unlucky Alchemist, a great many stories have been told about the unlucky alchemist and his tragic quest to find the most beautiful daisy of Eo. The Great Noble Houses, besung by the greatest bard, a jolly piece of writing by Parthon, an Everlightian bard. And now we've got 2 Sparks of the Essence artifacts, a spark of magical essence seemingly infused... a spark of magical energy seemingly infused by the essence, the Archfire. 14 demonic essence artifacts, essence blistering with dark magic, highly valued by enchanters and alchemists alike. 4 fire nettles, which are also artifacts. Scholars agree that there are at least 2,000 things in Nortander alone that can give you a nasty rash. This includes foods, magical spells, and fornication. There are, however, just a few sources that can give you a rash as foul as the one you get from touching a fire nettle. 3 garlic, for some reason, are artifacts. This powerful vegetable protects you from any kind of intimate contact with the opposite sex. Poison mushroom. These mushrooms have been considered a big problem in recent years. Many hungry and desperate refugees have died after ingesting this unassuming mushroom. 2 wolf hides, 10 venom sacs removed from spiders. Fangs, 8 fangs, 2 chitin shells. Hammer of the Smith head. So I'm going to try to get through this a little bit quicker. Shield of Benediction, inner plate. Rolgar's skull, which I don't think we need anymore. Pride of Nortander padding. These are all artifacts. Call of the Forest top plate. Master of Life and Death, the knob. Axe of the Mountains knob. Shield of Benediction handle. Shield of Benediction outer plate. So we may have enough for the Shield of Benediction. We have the inner plate, the outer plate, and the handle. Old Mysterious page 2. Old Mysterious page 1. Mage's Note Vision. Diary of the Lighthouse Keeper from last episode. Lock of Golden Hair. Scribbled Note 1-1 and 2-4. I don't know if we did that already. Slimy Flasks we picked up. We have to deliver these to Sergeant Copper. This was found in the Medusa's body, this medicine that we were sent for. Discolored Letter. Aenir's Rune was given to you by Randar Lacane, who claimed it was a relic of the Allfather. It is said that those who wear it can be resurrected upon death at a Godstone. And Human Infantryman Cost Reduction Blueprint, which we already unlocked. So that's our inventory. So there's a few things, we can switch things around, but I think we're pretty much decked out as is. Let's see. We could go ahead and use those potions at some point. Can't find a helmet that fits a dwarf. Yeah, I think we're pretty good. Only thing I would be curious about why we aren't using Blood Spiller, but Blood Spiller only has a 20-meter range versus 35 on the robust composite bow. This also has 7% more crit chance than the robust composite bow, but at a much less range. Both are good options, though. Then we have Iskrim using the Swift Cleaver. He's pretty much got the best thing going with his Unerring Warhammer. But a lot of these are it's a lot more about trade-offs than it is about one thing necessarily being cut and dry better than the next. So, Robust Crossbow is really nice. Let's see. Alright, so we should probably we can check our quests here. Secret of the Shapers. Gaining allies, there's side quests. That's the one we're on now, completing, returning to Sergeant Copper with the medicine. Alright, let's see. So let's go to abilities. Let's actually come up, well, probably going to redo our ability bar, so, to be more, seen for, to be more, what's the word, comfortable for us to redo that. Let's see how long we've been playing thus far. 27 minutes. Alright, so let's look at some abilities. I have Leadership, Black Magic, Elementalism, and Brutality. I'm the Battle Mage sort. So in Leadership, I gain additional focus points. I have Encourage. Temporarily applies a status effect to target building. Workers assigned to this building would gather resources faster. I have Bartering. Reduce the item cost for everything you buy. Do I have any points? No. And I have Rally. Grants you an aura that increases attack power of allied units and heroes around you. I have Black Magic. I leech 6% of inflicted damage. I have Epidemic 1. Creates a temporary sickening fog in target area that applies weaken to all enemies entering or caught within it. I have Call of the Forsaken. Summon a group of walking corpses in target area to aid you on the battlefield. You can see what that does. If you want to see any of these in more depth, I recommend you to pause the video and look. Void Arrow. Conjure a projectile of void magic that damages the target, particularly powerful against living targets. Deals all sorts of damage. And then we have Plague Bearer. Auto attacks have a chance to apply weakened. 33% chance to trigger that. Day of Reckoning. Conjure a shower of cursed blood to fall from the sky into the target area, with a chance to apply oiled to all enemies caught within. And oiled gives minus 20% movement speed, minus 16% casting and attack speed. Plus, if we light them up with fire, oh boy. I don't have anything in elementalism. Brutality, I get 3% extra attack damage. I have pressure points, increase all damage against humanoid creatures by 8%, along with spell damage 8%. I have two-handers, increase your damage with two-handed weapons by 10%, and that would be everything for me. Isgrim has elementalism, discipline, and earth shaping. So in earth shaping, he has increased resistances by +2. He has earth rune, self-targeted area of effect, create a temporary force field in the target area that protects and strengthens all allies within it. +13 to all resistances, +13% attack damage and power multiply. It armors and empowers. He's got head splitter, deal damage to the targeted enemy. Damage is increased if the target is currently impaired. Impaired is minus 10% movement speed. This deals all sorts of damage. 50% knockback and stun for 1 second. Earth rune, oh yeah. He's got knowledge of the Zarlanthep. Permanently increase your maximum focus by 8. And Neothoth's shield. Summon a whirlwind of flying rocks that surrounds you and has a chance to stun every enemy that walks into it. That's awesome. 15% chance to do that every 2 seconds, and it lasts for 12 seconds. Very cool. He's got discipline. Increase maximum health by 5%. Feint, deal damage to a targeted enemy plus half the weapon damage and interrupts it. Increase damage against weakened enemies. So this is an interrupt skill, which we're going to see is important when you see someone charging a skill themselves. You can interrupt it. Sword and board, as long as you're using a shield, increase your block chance and piercing resistance by 4%. And then he's got elementalism, 6% power multiply for all abilities, increases spell power. Fire spark, hurl a bolt of fire at an enemy that deals moderate magic damage and ignites oiled enemies. When empowered, the spark hurls enemies off their feet. Very cool. Double damage against ice, no damage to fire, oiled enemies are ignited. Then he's got Fireball, unleash a fireball that deals heavy damage to enemies in the medium area and ignites oiled units. Fire Spark is just one enemy, right? Yeah. Then he's got Elemental Infusion, self-targeted, gain Ice Smite and Fire Might. That means once he gets those, the next fire or ice spell is empowered. And that's everything for him. So we're getting through these pretty quickly. Ayana has got Dream Weaving, Assassination, and Brutality. Dream Weaving reduces all cooldowns by 5%. Dreamweaver's Mark, auto attacks apply the Dreamweaver's Mark on every enemy you attack. And Dreamweaver's Mark means it's marked by Ayana. We would have to get in the next level of this, which would increase attack damage against marked enemies by 20%. Mesmerize, immobilize the targeted enemy. The duration is doubled if the target is currently afflicted by Dreamweaver's Mark. She's got Siphon, leech life from target enemy. The amount of life leech is increased if the target is currently affected by Dreamweaver's Mark. Phantasm, summon a decoy at target position that applies taunted to nearby enemies. That's awesome. Max 1 creature. And Doppelganger, create 2 Doppelgangers at target position that fight on your side. Plus 37 attack damage. And in her Assassination, she's got 3% critical hit chance. Shadow Strike, damage target enemy, deal additional damage when the target is at full health. If at full health, 1189 weapon damage. That's wicked. Solar Plexus Strike, damage, interrupt, weaken, and stun the targeted enemy. Another interrupt skill, but also stuns and everything. Very cool. Throwing Knife, damage and interrupt the targeted enemy and apply bleeding. Another interrupt. And also First Aid, heal and cleanse target ally. Cleanse all active afflictions and heal for 350 health. And Assassin Swordplay, gain a chance to inflict bleeding on every melee auto attack. 40% chance to inflict bleeding for 5 seconds. And then in Brutality, 3% attack damage thus far. And finally, Iria, Arcane Archery, Archery, and White Magic. She's got Arcane Archery, chance to regenerate focus with every auto attack, 10% chance to restore 5 focus. Arrow of Light, shoot an arrow of pure light at a target enemy, dealing magic damage. Very powerful. Eland's Champion, your auto attacks are empowered with magic damage, which, yep. Purging Shot, deals magic damage, interrupts, purges, and applies silence and immunity to positive status effects to target enemy. Very powerful. You can stop the video at, during these things to see what they really do. She's got Archery, increased crit hit chance by 3%. Deadeye, damages target enemy plus 0.5 times percent your weapon damage. Damages increase if the target is at full health. Another full health massive attack. Hawkeye, reveal target area on the map. Standing in the revealed spot gives you improved attack speed by 100%. So that's very cool if we can figure out how to use it. White Magic, she has 0.07 extra focus regeneration per second. Tiara Shield, temporarily shield a target ally for 30 seconds. Holy Blessing, heal all allied non-undead units in an area for 332. We use that a lot. Damnation, mark target enemy. All units attacking this enemy will get healed. Very powerful. And Hierophany, healing abilities cost less focus to cast, minus 20% ability cost for light magic. So, bada bing, bada boom. If we look at our bar up there, the bar never changes. We've got, if I hit shift, it'll shift the bar, and if I hit alt and hold it, I can click an enemy and select what to do. And I think also hit shift, yep, to go to the next page. So we have all these abilities, 24 total, we have very quick access to. Head Splitter, Epidemic. I might go ahead and, yeah, I'm going to just clear this bar, and next episode we'll go ahead and set it up. And once that's set up, we're pretty much ready to go. Because I'm going to have new strategies, I'm sure. And do we want to use any of those potions? Let's go ahead and save as 37. And meanwhile, let's also let's see, Potion of Proficiency. Who has, I guess that would give us ability points for our abilities. And we also have the upgraded stats we can do. So we'll have to think about this as well. He can wear a White Hood of Focus, it's not as good. Mentor Splint Armor, not even well, it's good, but not even close to what his Epic Armor is doing. So I don't think anybody can really be upgraded right now. Everybody's got the best of the best. I mean, we can be upgraded if we find better stuff, but we have the best of what, is in our inventory currently. Potion of Empowerment, physical attributes. Yeah, more aware of his abilities and potentials that lie within. Who would I want to give the potential points to? I wonder. We'll have to look at that. Taunt enemies, call to arms, apply armor to yourself. And that goes with willpower. His willpower is 4, which isn't bad. Holy Shield. Alchemist Blood. Your health potions are more effective when you use them. That's awesome. Shield Bash. Damage and stun target enemy. Weakened enemies stay down longer. Taunt. I like Shield Bash. Windwall's Wrath. Sharp rocks erupt from the ground around you, damaging all enemies. And Neothal's Shield. Oh, we can upgrade it to, have a larger area of effect. which is very cool. You can also go the ice way, frost, but that's a little weird. Frost shell. Temporarily encase yourself in ice, making you invulnerable but unable to act. When empowered, the shell also slows nearby enemies when the duration expires. And hailstorm, that's pretty cool. Cast down a short shower of ice spikes in the target area that deals magic and piercing damage to everyone caught in it. When empowered, its spell affects a larger area. But I think we would probably want to go maybe... Applies impaired, which is just movement speed. Gain a chance to inflict bleeding on every melee attack. We can upgrade that to also imply impaired. Minus 43% movement speed. Shrapnel trap. Place a single explosive trap that detonates once an enemy steps on it, dealing heavy piercing and magic damage. Could just go more into brutality. Heavy strike. Deliver a powerful blow at target foe that deals heavy damage. Particularly effective against knockdown targets. Pressure points. And we can upgrade any of the things that she's also using, like the Dreamweaver's Mark, the Mesmerize, or the Siphon, or the Phantasm effects. So we have a lot to think about next episode. We'll get deeper into this. We're 41 minutes in, so I want to wrap this up. Hope you enjoyed this episode. A quick look at the abilities and what we have in the inventory and stuff, what we're wearing. Don't forget, guys, we can look at... this is an easier way to kind of, you know, do this. Looking at the spell book, spells, perks. To see what's, you know, what we have at a glance. And, experience to next level. We're kind of close. So next time we'll report to Sergeant Copper. We'll explore this map a little bit more, discuss our findings with the scryers, and go ahead and see if we want to use those potions. Yes. Let's make a little movement here. I'm bringing up these units, which are my army at the moment, who are down here. Game still looks beautiful, in my opinion. If we zoom in, you can see that the terrain and stuff is very low poly, but it's all good. I don't mind if you guys don't mind. Who's that wants to talk to me? I don't know, we'll have to click that next time. But anyway, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you join me for this return to Spellforce 3. It's going to be a lot of fun together. Would love to have you. But basically, you know, we're going to be playing this for the next few days, making a bunch of episodes. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you all. Lots more to come, lots more to do. We're just scratching the surface here. And to make it so I don't have to relearn all these games every time I play them again, I am going to basically play the same handful of games every month or so. I don't know, we'll see. I'm still working that out, but, you know, hopefully the games that you've seen recently are going to be played a lot more. The older LPs, I mean, in the upcoming months. So you have that to look forward to. Thank you again, guys. I appreciate you. Much love, peace, and joy. Catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.